Chimpanzees have been included in film and television since its inception. Since they are so closely related to us, chimpanzees have been used as comical pseudo-humans, even though they have very different needs and don't thrive in human environments. The earliest films that included chimpanzees were silent films, where chimps were dressed in human clothing and used as comic foils. One early series of films starred Snooky the Chimp, who was dubbed the tobacco-smoking human Z. He appeared in films such as Snooky the Chimp, Looser Than Loose, and Screwball Silence, as well as a number of other films. Another long-running series was Tarzan, whose sidekick was named Cheetah the Chimp. Since there were many iterations, many chimpanzees had to endure playing on screen. While Cheetah's role didn't require wearing human clothing as much, the chimpanzees were still required to perform on set despite the naturalistic setting implying otherwise. The 1950s film Bedtime for Bonzo starred the eventual President Ronald Reagan and was explicitly about raising a chimpanzee as a human child. Chimpanzees were also used in filming movies well into the present, with the MVP Most Valuable Primate movie series that extended to 3 movies, also featuring chimpanzees wearing human clothing, this time sports gear.
One of the largest misconceptions in the entertainment industry involving chimps are their forced and genuine smiles that the industry tries to portray as happiness. We see facial expressions like this and think how cute they're smiling, but this expression is far from what it seems. This is called a bared teeth display, also referred to as the fear grin or grimace, one of the most popular expressions used in films as well as commercials. Here we're able to see all of the chimp's teeth, top and bottom row. In the wild, they make these facial expressions when they try to appear intimidating against potential threats. Chimpanzees are often forced to mimic this expression while filming because of how closely it resembles human smiles. Here we can see what a genuine smile looks like, also known as a play face. Notice how they only show the bottom row of their teeth. This facial expression indicates that they would like to engage in play and do not pose a threat. Forcing these chimpanzees to mimic what looks like smiling only makes the audience believe that that chimpanzee is enjoying himself, when they could actually feel scared, nervous, or uncomfortable.
After organizations steal babies from their mothers, they are violently forced into subservience. There are records of human handlers punching, kicking, and bludgeoning the chimps with hammers and lead pipes, and even being electrically shocked. Subservience is required to make chimpanzees act the way you want, not the way a normal chimpanzee acts. When they are 6 to 8 years old, they typically become more difficult to handle. To make them more manageable, trainers may have the chimp's teeth pulled or may fit them with shock collars under their clothes. When they are no longer controllable by these discipline methods, they are discarded. Once discarded, they have nowhere else to go, nowhere to live a normal life. Although some integrate into the normal chimpanzee life, most cannot. Some chimps have been beaten to death post-shooting of the film.
Chimpanzees are endangered, yet the use of chimps in the American entertainment industry does not reflect their conservation status. A study by Ross et al. Proved that individuals who see chimps in typically human settings are more likely to perceive the species as stable and healthy than when seen in other contexts. A study done by Schroeper et al. Validated the influence of the distortion hypothesis, which examines how the sheer amount of chimps in entertainment negatively influences public perceptions of their status in the wild. Within 5 years, 35 commercials, 15 TV episodes, and 7 movies featured chimps in human-like settings. As a result, the public overestimates chimps' population size in the wild and is less likely to think that chimpanzees are endangered compared to other great apes. This directly counteracts the efforts of conservation organizations by decreasing the willingness of the public to support or even pay attention to chimpanzee conservation efforts. Actions you can take include donating to conservation organizations, boycotting media sources that use chimp actors, and educating others in making them aware of the issue.